Dear bank, I cannot pay back the loan that I took out the other week because I have spent it all on the Arrow Easter Sale. Please have my apologies. I'm broke, I'm destroyed, my bank is dead. Please take my apologies, I can't pay it back, Jason.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We are here. I've waited 2 weeks to do this video because I've been waiting for all my orders to arrive. This is the biggest Arrow haul that I've ever picked up within a span of maybe like a week and a bit. I have 28 titles here, and yeah, I went a bit mad. I dipped into savings that I maybe shouldn't have dipped into, but it is what it is. It's done. I can't really take it back. I don't regret any of it because I've got these wonderful titles behind me that I can talk about. So we just get into this because it's ridiculous. Let's get into it. So I'm going to start off with, I picked up some Arrow Academy titles because the death of Arrow Academy was a sad thing to see. Not that I ever picked up titles from Arrow Academy. It's always the way. You don't know what you had until it's gone. So I thought I'd pick up some stuff. Now the way I've kind of decided to pick up some of these titles, I would go on the Arrow site, I would read about them, and I would watch the trailer. And if it kind of interested me, I would pick it up based on the Arrow trailer. So that's how I've really kind of decided on these films. Some of the sets I've wanted for a long time anyway, so some of them were just instant buys. But some of these, especially the Arrow Academy stuff, were based on did I like the look of the trailer? Do I like the sound of the premise? So anyway, without further ado, let's get into the Arrow Academy title. So the first one on the pile is a film called Spotlight on a Murderer. This is a French 1961 murder mystery film, and to be honest, I bought it based on that artwork. The trailer looked good. The trailer looked good as well, but that artwork absolutely blew my mind. This is a dual format release, DVD and Blu-ray. So yeah. Spotlight on a Murderer, a French murder mystery. Looks really cool. Love that artwork. I just thought, it intrigued me enough to pick it up. Put it that way. Next up, we have a film I heard nothing about, but the premise and the trailer really pushed me over the edge to pick it up, which is a film called Hard to Be a God. Now, I did mention this in one of my streams a couple of weeks ago. I think I was with Leon. And I said that this film, it took 6 years to film and then an additional 6 years to edit. And during that 6 years of edit, the director died. He passed away. So it's had that's crazy to think about, the most tumultuous production that I've ever heard of in terms of actually finally getting it made and getting it put out. So it came out in 2013. It's about an astronaut who lands on this planet and discovers a civilization of basically human-like people, but this civilization are stuck in the Dark Ages and refuse to kind of move on into the next stage of civilization. And as far as I'm aware, it's about this character who's this astronaut from Earth. He doesn't want to interfere. He just kind of just like observes. And I've heard it's pretty brutal. It's pretty hard to watch in places. And it's got lofty entry requirements, being that it's Russian with English subtitles, it's in black and white, and it's 3 hours long. That doesn't bother me too much because I've seen Seven Samurai, and that is kind of got similar entry requirements to really get into the film. I've heard this is a landmark in just unbelievable filmmaking. The trailer made it look wicked. Like, I love this whole swords and board kind of medieval-esque aesthetic that it went with, and it just looks very stylish from a visual perspective. So it really kind of intrigued me. It says on the back as well about the production. It would take 6 years of shooting and a further 6 years of post-production and a posthumous premiere before his masterpiece was finally realised. That is crazy, but really looking forward to seeing this film. Just a preface before I go on, this is going to be a long fucking video, so get a sandwich, get a cup of tea, get comfy, because we might be here for a while. Next up on the Arrow Academy docket, I picked up Children of Men because it's a film that I've always really enjoyed. A depressing and miserable as fuck film. I found it quite miserable, and quite depressing in its themes and its you know, the way it portrays its world. It's very, very dark. It's very, very abrasive. But it is it's a masterpiece in my eyes. And it's one of those straight up great dystopian future movies that I really do like. And I picked it up. It was a no-brainer because I didn't even realise Arrow put this out. I didn't realise it even had a Blu-ray. Like, I didn't realise it had an Arrow Blu-ray until I found this on the Arrow video store. But yeah, Children of Men, it was a no-brainer. I love this film. It's great. I picked it up. And the final Arrow Academy film, I bought this again, like based on the trailer. The trailer made this film look really, really engaging, and some of the comments, not comments, but some of the write up on it on the Arrow website really kind of intrigued me. It's a film called Clash. It's a film about basically protesters in Egypt. 2 years after the Egyptian revolution, demonstrators of divergent political and religious backgrounds are forcibly detained together in a claustrophobic police truck during the turmoil that erupts following the outing of former President Morsi from power. So it's a very politically charged film. From what I've read, that the director and his crew did film. So parts of it is obviously kind of part of it is scripted, but parts of this film are actually footage of rioting and real kind of protesters in Egypt. Apparently the director and the crew basically put themselves in a lot of danger making this film, and it just sounds very engaging. And I do like films that are set in one location, and this is set, as you can see, in the back of a police truck. And that sounds very engaging to me. I do like one location films. I think when you set a film in one location, it really does maximize your budget really well, and you can make a really, really engaging kind of dialogue heavy kind of movie that way, in my opinion. But yeah, another fun fact is apparently Tom Hanks loved this film. It's one of Tom Hanks's favorite films. Whether you like Tom Hanks or not, it doesn't really matter, but I just feel that's quite high praise for an actor of that caliber to say this is one of his favorites. And also he actually wrote a letter to the director saying how great this film was. So that's high praise coming from a high caliber actor like Tom Hanks. So that kind of intrigued me even more. So yeah, Clash, it looks really good. The trailer made it look really interesting. So, and it's got a nice slip. Gotta love the slips. So I was really happy to pick it up. So yeah, that's the last of the Arrow Academy stuff. Now we're going to go into the standard Blu-ray releases. These are Arrow video releases. I'm going to kick this off. Add into my Dario Argento collection, we have The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. I do know that Arrow are re-releasing this as a 4K limited, but I don't really care enough to really want to get that re-release, so I just picked up this one. You know, £8 a pop. I thought that's a great way to basically fill out my Argento collection. I've heard really good things about this, and looking forward to checking this one out. Next up is a film that my good friend Fraser, also known as Ramhammer on YouTube, he says how much he loves this film, and that is Nightbreed. Never seen it, but it sounds like it's right up my alley, so I'm looking forward to it quite a lot. As you can see, I haven't opened any of these yet, solely because I was waiting to do my video before I even thought about opening any of them. But yeah, a Nightbreed, looking forward to it. It looks really crazy, really cool. Like, I don't know what you call it, like things coming up from hell and just causing anarchy from what I've seen. But yeah, looks really cool. Looking forward to that one. Next up is a film that I thought pretty much the premise that sounded really interesting, which is Ghoul, which is a bad detective who plays an undercover patient to a psychiatrist who he believes is a murderer or something along those lines. It sounds really cool. I really think it might be pretty good. It was dirt cheap. I think this was one of the ones that was £5, I think, in the sale, but I remember not paying much for it at all. Next up is one of my favourite George A. Romero films, which is The Crazies. Really great outbreak drama, because that's what it is. It's not really a horror film, it's more of an outbreak drama. If you've only seen the remake couldn't be more different to this original 70s. It is 70s, isn't it? Am I going mad? It is 70s. Yeah, 73. The remake and this original are so different. The remake became more of a kind of like a really violent, over the top, kind of almost zombie-esque film. It wasn't a zombie film, but you know what I mean. It was more kind of like people going crazy and killing people. This is more subtle in its kind of pacing and kind of character development. It's more about how people in power are dealing with the outbreak, rather than what the outbreak has done to people. It's very subtle in showing what the outbreak is doing to people, and it's more of a drama and more of a slow burn film. And I loved this movie. I thought it was great. I thought it was gripping from start to finish. I was basically just glued to it. I thought it was fantastic. I think it's one of George A. Romero's, one of his best films, in my opinion. Next up we have Heathers, a film that just basically, I watched the trailer and I was like, this looks awesome. This just looks fantastic. It looks great. About a gang of girls, all called Heather, that's why it's called Heathers. They're called the Heathers, and one girl in particular is in that group, but she's not Heather, she's Victoria, and she meets this guy, and it turns out this guy hates all the Heathers, and they proceed to to kill them. So it sounds really fun, like a black comedy almost. It sounds really silly. I'm looking forward to checking this out. It looks really dumb fun. So yeah, Heathers. It looks really fun from what I've seen in the trailer. Leon from Leon Talks Films highly recommends it, actually. So looking forward to it, Leon, if you're watching. Next up is a film that I've never seen before, that my friend Fraser banged on about, has banged on about for years, right? And I finally picked it up, and it was Audition. Really happy to grab this. Takeshi Miike, his film, very apparently just classic Japanese horror, if you want to call it a horror film. I don't really know too much about it. I know that it goes horrifically dark towards the end of the film. That's all I really know. But yeah, Audition, I've always wanted to check it out. You know, I know certain bits that happen in it which kind of put me off a little bit. It's a bit like torture-y, but looking forward to it anyway. Next up, I picked up a film called Dead End Drive-In. This wasn't in the Easter sale. This was in CEX for a £5. Like I said, three of these were from elsewhere, but yeah, just thought I'd pick it up. £5. It looks really silly. You know, it sounds silly as hell. I don't know nothing about it. I flipped the cover over because I like the pink motif there. It looks cool. Yeah, just looks pretty cool, and it's an Arrow title to my collection. I've gone really obsessively into Arrow at the moment, and as you can tell, I'm picking up any old shit, but this might be good. Who knows? Oh man, I'm excited to talk about this next one. So I've not seen it, but I've been wanting to see this film in the longest time, and the Arrow release has really allured me for the longest time, but I had to go to H&V for this one, but it was in the Arrow sale, $7.99. The Guyver. Now, the reason why I've always wanted to see this for the longest time and never have, I remember being in school and I had a friend who was obsessed with this movie, absolutely obsessed with it. Never seen it though. Even the amount, you know, I didn't even go around his house and watch it. Like, you would have thought he's my mate, I would have gone around his house and actually he would have put it on because he's obsessed with it. never happened. It just never came to be. But looking forward to checking it out. I've heard it's a bit goofy and it's kind of sort of like its tone is similar to like Ninja Turtles from the 90s. But looking forward to it. Like that artwork's pretty killer. Really liking it. Looking forward to this one though. The Guyver. Let me know if you've seen this, guys. Next one was a no-brainer. I bought this immediately because John from Mondochevic Movies' favourite horror film. I had to have it in the collection, of course, which is Zombie Flesh Eaters, also known as just Zombie. Yep, a really great Fulci zombie film. Really good. I had to pick it up. Really good horror film. One of the best zombie films outside of the Romero trilogy. It's one of the best ones. Next up is another film I picked up based on the trailer because the trailer made it look really good. It's a film called Suture. Don't know how you pronounce that properly, but yeah, Suture. Yeah, it just sounds really cool. About two brothers. One brother assumes the other brother's identity, but in doing so, he has to basically try and kill his brother to do it, or something along those lines. From what I can gather from the trailer, it just looks really engaging from the trailer, so I just picked it up. I think it was £5 in the sale. Next up, I bought this based on John from Mondochevic Movies' recommendation. He showed it off in our horror remakes video. He showed the remake off, but he also showed the original off, which is Rollerball. I do like future dystopian future movies where they take a sport and make it brutal and violent. I do like the idea. So this film just seems right up my alley in that regard. And anything really that John recommends, I tend to kind of be intrigued by, because we seem to have very similar tastes in movies, and I just trust John's judgment. I think he's got a really great taste in movies, so as soon as he recommended this, I was like, I need to get it, and I picked it. It was on the sale. £8. Can't go wrong with £8, can you? Next up, I picked this up. There's a channel called Man v Film. If you don't know who Man v Film is, go and check his channel out. It's a great channel. He asks those really hard to answer questions about, you know, collecting habits and whatnot. Really great, almost essay like conversations. Really great channel. I honestly recommend his channel. Check him out. But yeah, I watched. He was doing this live stream where he was going through the Arrow Easter sale and just talking about titles that are on sale, and he mentioned this one, Horror Express. And now obviously it's got, you know, Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee in there. And the main thing but obviously that's automatic 10 points right there. But the fact that he also says, Man v Film also recommended it and was like, it's the thing on a train. I was like, now I've got to get it. Now it has to be mine. So I picked it up immediately after Man v Film's recommendation, pretty much. Next up, I picked up a film called The Slayer. Just sounds like a ridiculous, stupid, almost slasher movie, haunted house thing. And just sounds like really silly and fun, so I picked it up. Talking about silly and fun, this sounds silly and fun. Satanic Panic. If you've not, this reminds me similar to kind of that black comedy-esque kind of satanic ritual kind of satanic films, kind of black comedy films. There's a film called Deathgasm that's kind of a similar kind of vibe, where it's about a metal band that kind of, you know, does this song and it kind of brings up a load of demons, and it was just really silly and over the top, violent and really fun. This sounds like a similar thing. I don't think obviously the premise is a bit different, but just sounds like a really silly movie with a lot of humour. The trailer made it look silly, so I'm looking forward to checking this one out. It sounds pretty fun. Again, $7.99 on sale. Man, this is the problem when you have these kind of sales. And I've become a bit obsessive with Arrow Video, and I'm dreading another sale, because if they do a Christmas sale, I'm fucked. I'm actually ruined. The final pickup, I got this from I think maybe there's 4 titles from CEX. I think, yeah. So I got this from CEX. Big Trouble in Little China. Fantastic John Carpenter movie. Really great. But yeah, that's the last of the standard releases. Let's get to the special editions. First up in the special editions, we have a film called Comic. This was also $7.99 in the Easter sale, Arrow Easter sale. I bought it solely because it came with a slipcover. I've heard the movie is dreadful though, so this should be fun to watch. Hopefully it's dreadful in a good way, like a Troll 2 kind of way, where it's fucking dreadful, but you can have a good time with it. Hopefully, but I'm happy it came with a slip. For $7.99 you get a slip. That's pretty fucking wicked. That's cool to get. I got this film again on a recommendation from Man v Film. He showed this off and I just wanted it because the slip is absolutely magnificent. White Fire. I paid a bit more for this. Paid from HMV, $9.99 in the sale. Sounds really good. Sounds like a really cool, hyper-violent 80s, almost like a heist movie. But I think it's got more to it than that. I'm not too sure really the premise that much, but it does sound like about apparently there's this diamond that actually burns you on contact, and everyone wants it because it could be worth loads of money, and violence and stuff ensues and etc. Bought it because it sounded cool, and also the slip is amazing. But yeah, White Fire. Next up was a no-brainer, considering as far as I'm aware this is the first pressing of this film, and the price I got it for is ridiculous. So that is The Prey, $7.99 with the slip. I'm guessing this must be the first pressing because only the first pressing would have the slip cover. So I'm blown away. I swear this was out of print. And it's funny because HMV had these little boxes under their shelves, and I pulled one out. They said Arrow Video. I pulled one out, and they had like 5 of these. So if you've ever been to Blue Water in Kent, massive shopping centre, if you go to Blue Water's HMV and look in their little boxes underneath their shelves that says Arrow Video, you might just grab yourself a copy of this with the slip cover. They had like 5 of them. I couldn't believe my luck. But yeah, $7.99, man. Come on. You can't. I can't pass up. And also, it looks awesome. The tagline just sold me. It's not human, and it's got an axe. Brilliant. It sounds amazing. I bet it's not. I bet it's a really fucking awful 80s slasher film. It's really bad, but that's why we love these horror films, right? The badder they are, the better they are. Except if you're the burning. No one likes the burning. It's awful. Anyway, really happy to get that. I picked this one up as well. Sounds really cool. The slip cover is really nice. It's got a bit of a shine to the letter in there, and it's got almost like a sheen to it. You probably can see that there. But yeah, I solely bought this just for the slip cover. The film there sounds pretty cool, so I'm looking forward to checking out the actual film about dreams, and I'm guessing it sounds like it's about like stress, what stress can really do to you in your dreams. It sounds like what it sounds like to me anyway. But yeah, Dream Demon seems pretty cool. The slip is really nice. Now we're getting onto we've done limited editions. Now we're going to get onto the special box set editions. Now I picked up, I was after this, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Now I didn't get this in HMV when it was $14.99. I found this on eBay and it was £16. What is my luck? And it's in beautiful condition as well. So I'm really happy to get this. Not seen this film, but when I saw that Lauren from Lauren's Collection, hi Lauren, when I saw that she got this from HMV and I saw how beautiful this box set is, I was like, well, I've got to get that now, don't I? And I've got a thing for orange as well at the moment, so it was just like a double whammy. It's orange and it looks amazing. So yeah, I had to get it. Let me know what you think about this film in the comments down below. I've not seen it. I don't really know what I'm expecting, like this crazy trippy movie. But yeah, I just thought it looked absolutely gorgeous. So 16 quid on eBay. That is good luck, because I've heard this film goes for this edition in itself goes for a lot more on eBay. 16 quid, happy to get it. Next up is the Robocrop Collector's Edition. Of course, had to get this. I got this from CEX before I saw it on fucking HMV. But yeah, I paid the same. I paid 15 for this. I had a voucher, so I wasn't too bothered. Comes with everything. it's complete with the book and everything else and blah blah blah. And so yeah, happy to get Robocop, the collector's box edition, which is cool. It's cool to get that. Next up we have the Ring collection. Been after this for a long time. I'm so glad I bought this for £25 off of Amazon on the Arrow sale. One day, literally a day before, they had that Zavi price glitch and it went down to $7.99. I couldn't believe my bad luck. I've been lucky in this sale, but I've also been fairly unlucky when it concerns this set. Yeah, Zavi had a price glitch and this went down to $7.99, but I had already bought it by that point from Amazon for £25. But I don't care. £25 better than £50 what it was, so I'm fairly fine about it. It's all right. I'm looking forward to rewatching these films again. And yeah, The Ring. What I did score in the Zavi price glitch was the Hellraiser Trilogy. The Trilogy. Yeah, the trilogy. I did get this. So yeah, reduced from, it was meant to be $32.99 and it was $9.99, and I was so happy to score that. Hell yes, sir. I think I was the last person to grab it as well, because as soon as I bought it, it disappeared off the store. So Savvy could have just went, oh, it was a mistake, cancel them all, but no, they fulfilled their orders, which is really nice of them to do. Finally, from HMV, at my day out at HMV on Tuesday, Graveyards of Honor. Got two films in this. You've got the 1975 original film by Kinji Fukusaku, and then you've got the 2002 sort of remake by Takeshi Miike. So looking forward to checking these out. 1999. I thought that was fair, so I picked it up. Really nice set. So yeah, that is the ridiculous Arrow pickups in the Arrow sale. My wallet is absolutely weeping, but yeah, that is all of it. It is ridiculous. My word, it's crazy, absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. So yeah, that is the Arrow haul of all Arrow hauls. Like this, I don't think I'm ever going to get that much again. Like, honestly, it really has been a crazy couple of weeks for me. It's just, it's so easy to just get wrapped into the rabbit hole of collecting. And when you have a sale where everything is just like £8 a go, and you've got savings that you shouldn't be bloody spending, and yet you spend it, my word, it can go quickly. So yeah. Really happy to get all these. Looking forward to checking them out. I have no excuse not to watch anything. So yeah, really great haul. I'm really happy to get it. I want more, as you do. Like, so there's other films there that I feel like I should get off the back of recommendations, but I can't right now. And the bloody sale ends tomorrow on Tuesday. But it is what it is. Or it ends today, 19th. I don't know. We'll see. As always, if you're new to this channel and want to see more, maybe become a subscriber, Runu, and maybe subscribe. And hit that button for the YouTube algorithm, because it's the best way to not have Godzilla come and destroy your town. Because we all know that if he was real, he would answer to me. So yeah, hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. And as always, I have been Jason, and I have so much Arrows to watch, it's ridiculous.